Why would you want to be an endotherm or ectotherm? Well, ectotherms need a lot less energy. For example, if you have a nice cuddly pet python, you can give it a nice big meal and then maybe another one in about a month. Try that for yourself, you'd be awful hungry. Because we use quite a lot of the energy we get from our food to keep our body temperature warm, which means we need more food because we're burning up a lot of it just for the heat. On the other hand, if it's cold outside, you might want to stay under the covers, but you can get up and get around and do things in the morning. Cold-blooded, you're not moving real fast if the temperature around is cold. So, warm-blooded, you can maintain a more constant level of higher activity, but it takes a lot more fuel to do so. Now, of course, we have some additional strategies besides the heat from inside. Organisms may migrate, move from time to time to places that have more suitable conditions for them as the seasons change. Or hibernation, when it's cold outside, going into a slowed down mode of activity. This is found, of course, in a variety of generally smaller mammals, a number of bats, rodents, things like that. Bears don't exactly completely hibernate, but they kind of do stuff along that line. Or if conditions are too hot and dry, instead of hibernation, it's called estivation. But same idea, some approach of kind of turning down the system and waiting out until conditions get better. Endotherms, high temperature. Chemical reactions happen faster at high temperature. So we can have our enzymes going relatively rapidly. Chemical reactions happening pretty fast. Helps with fast response to things as well. But again, takes a lot of energy. We require a lot more food, a lot more sustenance than a cold-blooded animal would. Now, there's in-between options. You could have a somewhat lower body temperature, or you could crank things up sometimes, but not all the time. There are various complications, variations besides just plain total cold blood, total warm blood. How do we keep warm? There are plenty of structures that help. Fur, feathers, layer of blubber, those help keep that warmth in. Now, of course, you have to make it before you can keep it in. There was an experiment actually done where they made little fur coats for lizards, and that didn't do the lizards any good because they didn't have the way to warm themselves up to stay warm with the coat. So, but once you get warm, having insulation helps you keep it. On the other hand, if you're tending to get too hot, having extensive thin body surfaces like big ears gives you a good way of releasing extra heat. You can pump blood into the ear, and that blood's exposed to the air pretty well and releases heat. So things like elephants, jackrabbits in deserts, things of that sort use that approach. Color. Black warms up, as you've probably noticed in summertime if you try to walk barefoot across the parking lot. So living in colder areas, darker colors help you absorb energy from the sunshine and warm up more. Conversely, if you live in hot areas, being light colored reflects more light off of you, so you don't heat up as much. Different behaviors. Going for the shade when it's hot, getting out in the sunshine when it's cold, getting some water to cool off, using your tail for shade. Well, we can't do that very well, but some animals can. How you face to the sun. If you try to spread out your body so lots of it's exposed to the sunshine, it will warm up more. If you turn the other way, so minimizing how much is towards the sun, then you'll warm up less. And of course, inside the body, controlling what's going on with your metabolism, how much heat you're cranking out by the amount of energy you're using, the chemical reactions going on. Working together, muscles interact with skeletons of various sorts, and the epithelial tissue for movement, support, protection. So looking at how that works together, again, epithelium provides a cover, regulates what goes in and out. There are several styles of skeleton. Of course, we've got bones on our insides, but some things have a skeleton on the outside, like this snail here with the external shell. That gives a somewhat different style. Also, even instead of having something obviously firm to the touch, a fluid-filled compartment is something that provides support for the structure of an organism and is something that muscles can interact with to produce different styles of motion. Of course, most movement is dependent on interaction of muscles and whatever skeletal system the organism might have. Epithelial tissue, again, covers surfaces. If there's an external skeleton, the epithelium characteristically makes it. Anything else on the surface? So for example, the snail here secretes slime. This allows it to crawl smoothly along. A snail can even crawl over a sharp surface like a razor blade because it's got the slime layer protecting it. In addition to making a smooth surface for crawling, the slime will have things like antibiotics providing some protection. I imagine most predators aren't too anxious to get a mouthful of slime, so a little protection that way as well. Some animals secrete kind of a glue, help them hold on to something. Maybe poisons, toxins, protecting them from getting eaten, variety of things there. And we already know epithelial cells, sensory. One important protection is against ultraviolet rays, although the ozone layer gets some of those before they get down to the Earth's surface. Some of them come through. UV can do a lot of damage. It's got enough energy, more energy than visible light, to potentially harm DNA. And again, of course, damaged DNA, it's not good for you when your DNA copying enzymes are guessing what to do. You get mutations, some of which could potentially produce cancer or sunburns, enough of a problem. Skeletal system. This is our body framework, and it is very important in moving around as well. So typically our muscles do the contracting, and that pulls on various parts of the skeleton, leading to our movement. Again, we have an endoskeleton, an internal one, and you can see teeth, but they're sort of inside, and the rest of it's not visible. But a number of invertebrates have an exoskeleton, an external one, and as mentioned, fluid-filled compartments, hydrostatic skeleton can function as well. Hydrostatic, less familiar. Soft-bodied invertebrates often have this. If they've got a body space that can be filled with fluid. For example, something like a jellyfish or a coral polyp, a number of types of worms, slugs, things like that. So, liquid in a sealed compartment, say with a water balloon, if you squeeze one part of it, well, the rest of it's going to bulge. That water has to go somewhere. So, similarly, muscles acting on a body compartment with fluid in it are going to cause movement. Maybe it will squeeze out and get longer, or if the muscle pulls the other way, that can shorten the compartment and make it wider instead. And so we'll get these different movements in the body. Typically, we've got different sets of muscles that squeeze in different ways. So, for example, cnidarians, something like a hydra or a jellyfish, you've got muscles going different directions in different body layers. And so, muscles one way are going to promote shortening and getting broader. Squeeze the other way, it gets taller and thinner, stretching out that way. Things like earthworms have multiple compartments in the body. So they can squeeze one and stretch another and do all sorts of bending of the body. Tube feet in the Ectotherms likewise use water in compartments to move things around.